shooting your first bridal boudoir session and you're feeling a little nervous? I got you. I'm Alicia, a boudoir photographer of 8 years, and I have some tips and some reminders so that your next session with a client is amazing. We're going to walk through what to say, what to do, and how to prep for your next bridal boudoir session. So most importantly, when working with brides or grooms who want to do a wedding-themed boudoir session, you got to ask about the wedding timeline. Client communication is going to be absolutely vital because these clients have a deadline. They know when they need their images by. And it's really, really important that you give yourself enough time to do the photo shoot, edit the work, and order any products before someone needs images. In my case, I always recommend 6 weeks just so there's absolutely no stress. Normally, I don't even need that long, but I would prefer to have buffer room rather than rush. Oh my gosh, is it going to get here in time? That just causes too much stress for you and too much stress for your bridal client, and we don't want that at all. During client communication, you also want to make sure you're confirming who this gift is for. Is it for them? Are they just really doing this as a way to commemorate this point in their life? Is it strictly for a partner and they maybe don't care so much about what is actually happening in the session? It's more about fully doing something for their partner, or maybe it's for both of them. It's an act of self-love for your client, but it is also going to be a gift. That's something worth noting and discovering because that's going to change the vibe and maybe the outfits and the posing that you do during a session. If someone tells me this is strictly for their partner, which normally at my studio, because we're so body liberation focused, I don't really get those inquiries like ever. Most people are doing it either for themselves or as a dual purpose kind of thing. But let's say, hypothetically, you do have someone who is like, this is strictly for a partner. If their partner has favorite features on them, you're going to want to make sure that you photograph those. If their partner has a favorite color, you're going to want to make sure you photograph that. Again, in my case, I'm asking, what are your favorite colors? How do you want to feel during a session? Things like that, which leads me to my next point. Discussing emotion before your bridal boudoir session, very important. How do you want to feel when you look at these images? I like to ask, what adjectives come to mind for you when you think about this session? That's going to help you, the photographer, plan out poses, plan out wardrobe, things like that. It's a really, really important question, nailing the emotion that your client wants to feel. And that's going to kind of set the tone as well for the session. So as you're photographing them, of course, remind them that this session is about them and not just their fiance, and that they should be getting something out of it as well. Boudoir is a big ol' act of self-love. It's very empowering. It is very, it's a wonderful way to reconnect with your own body. So let them know that that's on the table as well, and this doesn't just have to be a gift. Now, when you are talking with your client, and you're planning everything, I've got some tips on what you should be reminding your client to bring. If you are photographing like bridal boudoir and you have like a female client coming in and they have a veil, definitely tell them to bring it. Bonus tip, if you have one at your studio, I have a full client wardrobe here, and this cathedral length veil is one of the items that my clients can borrow because some people want to shoot with a veil, but maybe they're not actually planning on wearing one on their wedding day, or it just hasn't arrived in time. They haven't purchased it yet. It's really nice to have one. And I didn't get a very bougie one or anything. I just found one online that was, I don't know, like $25. So nothing crazy or anything like that, but it's very nice for me to have it because then people can still get that very, very bridal look without having to bring in their own veil. If your client knows what lingerie they will be wearing on their wedding day, if they're planning on wearing any, definitely encourage them to bring that with. If they have special jewelry, maybe something that their partner gave them, or they're going to have a special garter that they wear on their wedding day, bring that. If you're photographing a groom, tell them to bring in their like the boxers that they plan to wear on their wedding day. Maybe they have their suit jacket already, or they have a bow tie or a regular tie that they know they're wearing on their wedding day. Tell them to bring it. Socks as well. That seems to be a thing. Like grooms will get custom socks as well. Like bring those. Those little details are so stinking cute. Cologne or perfume, another great one. If you know what scent you're wearing on your wedding day, bring it. What a cute little addition to make your photo shoot even more custom. So encourage your clients to bring in those items to their wedding boudoir session, because it's going to make their session even more meaningful. And that's what boudoir is all about at the end of the day. Now, during the actual session, what are we going to say? Normalize nerves. I think that's right out of the gate one of the most important things you can do for a client. They might show up and they're going to be a nervous wreck. Let them know it's okay. It is totally normal to feel a little awkward or to feel uncomfortable or to feel nervous. I always let my clients know that will eventually go away, and there is no possible way for them to screw up during a photo shoot. It's not possible. They're not doing anything wrong, because that's my job. My job is to guide them. My job is to walk them through everything. It's my job to make sure they feel comfortable. They can't possibly screw up. And I like to use really affirming language during this session as well. You're doing a really great job. Oh my gosh, you're absolutely glowing. You are nailing that pose, etc., etc. I want to hype them up the whole time so that they feel like they're doing a good job, because guess what? They are doing a good job. They're doing a hard and scary thing right now. They're doing a great job, and they need to be reminded of that. So use a lot of affirming language during your photo shoots, and let them know that this isn't like any kind of performance. We're trying to just kind of let them be in their body. They don't have to put on a song and dance or anything. I always let my clients know, regardless of whether it's a bridal boudoir session or just a regular session, if I ever suggest something that a person doesn't want to do, we're not going to do that. Keep me in the loop. Let me know how your body is feeling. We can take breaks. We can grab water. If I suggest something and it's just too far outside of your comfort zone, we're not going to do it, because this is your opportunity to just be and to exist and to feel good in your body. And that's what I want for my bridal boudoir clients. So when it comes to the actual poses then that you may want to do during like a wedding themed boudoir session, whether you're photographing a bride or a groom, if they want something very soft and romantic, then we want to do very like elegant and intimate kind of poses. You can think like flowy type of motion. Maybe we're using the veil or a robe for very dreamy movement, soft hands, lower contrast, dreamy light, bright white light. Almost feels like we could use like posing that feels like we're waiting for something. We're longing for something. Sitting at the edge of the bed or holding the veil or looking out of a window, right? Like, oh, something is coming. That's going to be amazing. That kind of thing. I also like dreamy, more like emotional expressions. Something that's soft, maybe something that's joyful, a full-on smile. The smile ones always work. I try to be genuinely funny during my sessions so that people actually laugh. I hate telling people smile. I never do that. I almost never do that, because the smile that you get is not full-on joy, right? It's like the performance smile, and we don't want that. But like a soft, delicate smile, those are great as well. Not everything during a bridal boudoir session has to be super duper sexy, unless that is what your client wants, including some of those softer, more romantic, dreamy type poses. 10 out of 10 as well. I love using natural light when possible, but if you've got a softbox or something like that, those are also great. Something softer. I really like to shoot, and then you could include things like white sheets, florals, a mirror. Most of the time, bridal boudoir is kind of has like a color palette that's a little bit softer or maybe wedding aligned, unless your client wants something else. I have a client who is getting married in like a black wedding dress, and I was like, heck yeah, bring the black lingerie then. Let's match the tone of your wedding. So if you want to wear a black wedding dress, we should have black lingerie as well. And she's doing like a fall near Halloween wedding, so we're going to include like a fog machine and things like that in her session, because we want to match the vibe. If somebody's having a very dreamy, very like floral, soft, romantic kind of wedding, then great, match that vibe. If they're having a, I don't know, 1920s flapper themed wedding. Maybe we can include some feather fans or things like that in their boudoir session. It all comes down to the communication with the client, and figuring out your lighting and your styling is really going to be based on what your client wants out of the session. And then at the end of your photo shoot, you can remind your clients that they deserve to be celebrated, they deserve to feel seen, and even though the photos are going to be a gift to their partner, they're also for themselves. A bridal boudoir session, it's a really wonderful pause for a bride who is in the middle of chaos planning a wedding. It's this moment of confidence. It's this moment of grounding. It's just a moment where they get to breathe and feel seen and celebrate their body. And when you are in the middle of wedding planning, it does not feel like you ever get those moments. It's just kind of go, 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 go. So let's not overcomplicate their session. We're going to lean into the connection and the softness and the intention, which of course we did because we communicated with our client really, really well before they even came in. We're going to keep our energy up so that we're setting the tone for the session. We, at the same time, want to be very affirming and maybe calm if our client is really, really nervous, that they're going to shine. They're going to be amazing during their session. And if they have any questions or comments, make sure that you're answering them and that they feel included in the planning of their bridal boudoir session. One additional bonus tip that I love to let my bridal clients know, if they're doing the whole something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue, I think bridal boudoir is the perfect time for the something blue. And they can kind of do this in two ways. They can either wear blue lingerie or borrow blue lingerie from me, or I've encouraged people to get blue album covers or portfolio box covers. So if you order from a lab, I go through the boudoir album. There are so many blue cover options. These are just a few that I pulled. How fun for your wedding themed boudoir album to be your something blue. It's just a little bonus tip that I like to do with my clients, and maybe now you can start doing it with yours. Hopefully this was helpful. If you found it helpful, then please do not forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell so you know every time we put out a new video. I have more photography tips coming soon. And thank you so much for joining me. I will see you all again in another video. Bye and happy shooting.